Chapter 48. The pillow lifted. Ashley gasped. Ron set it to the side, smiling triumphantly. Sucking and exhaling noisily drafts, her lungs still strained against his weight, unable to quench her need for oxygen. Why was he so cruel? She didn't understand, and this lack of understanding whirled her thoughts. Why didn't he care about her? She didn't do anything bad to him that she remembered. What could have happened to him to make him stop caring about girls? When did he stop? What should have happened to keep him caring? As a boy, he should have learned to respect girls. She searched his hazel eyes for answers. He snickered. You scream again, you might not live. Maybe they'll just think you had some type of SIDS or something and stop breathing in your sleep. Maybe they'll think it's their fault for giving you too many drugs, but you'll be dead and I'll be gone. She felt as worthless as a piece of trash underneath him. Despite having indulged in plenty of oxygen, his breathing was ragged. His face was red with blue veins pushing out his greasy forehead. He moved down on her, sending chills of dread along her back. He kissed her stomach. Ashley began to cry, but silently, not daring to risk angering him again. Laura's going to be here soon, she kept telling herself. She promised to come. She'll be here. She said she would, and she's looking out for me. She cares. Laura will help. She cares. She won't let me down. She's a good person. Ashley just had to survive long enough. She tried imagining being in another place, somewhere beautiful with friends and family. But it was difficult because she kept being jarred back into reality from Ron's wet lips. She prayed he would lose interest in her. Really, she wasn't very appealing, bland in looks and character, she always thought. Surely this man would tire of her and leave. He probably had work to do. Spending time with her was a waste. There were more important people to hang out with and more valuable things to do. Her own father had evidently thought so. Ron forced her wrist to the side. His hot breath pummeled her stomach as he kissed it again, making her insides feel as though worms crawled. She shivered. Oh, you like that, do you? She looked at him, horrified. Don't worry, you're going to get more. A string of saliva hung from his chin. You're going to enjoy this. What could he be thinking to make him believe this violation was enjoyable, let alone acceptable? Didn't he have a mother or a sister who he loved? Didn't he have friends while growing up who were girls? Hadn't he learned to treat them right? Why didn't anyone teach him? Adults were supposed to teach him. He was supposed to have been taught to be a good boy so he could grow up into a good man. His parents and teachers had the responsibility to make sure he learned these lessons early on. What had gone wrong? Where was God? Why had he allowed this as well? Please, why are you doing this? You'll meld with me. I didn't do anything. We'll be inseparable. I don't want to. Please leave me alone. Later, I'll stick you myself with a needle or two, make you sleep for good. No one will know the difference, not even you. It'll be like nothing happened. No, she said, her voice failing. Oh, stop pretending you don't like it. His tongue wiggled into her navel. She raised her head and shoulders, trying to get up, but he slid back over her body. His steamy breath slapped her face, and his lips desperately searched for hers. She really felt like she was going to throw up, drowned right there in vomit, but somehow she held it down, swallowing, closing her eyes, wishing to be on a beach in the tropics, wishing to be safe in her room at home, wishing to be in her closet, anywhere but there. Jessica yelled into Laura's ear, "Explain it to me, bitch!" The left side of her hearing numbed for a few seconds. She couldn't see over Jessica's thigh to observe Frank's actions. She barely heard the click of the phone being hung up. He said, annoyed, "What's going on over there?" Jessica sat up straight, causing Laura to flinch from her ribs grinding. Jessica asked, "Who is this bitch?" He answered, "I don't know." "Why doesn't she know where we live?" "How am I supposed to know?" "Oh, come on, Frank. Don't play dumb." "I'm not. I never seen her before." "How many hot tramps break into houses, huh? Don't play me for stupid." The phone began ringing. He answered it. Jessica hunched back over Laura, sounding desperate for a truth that didn't exist. "Where did you guys meet?" "I don't know your husband." "How did you know we're married?" She paused, feeling like she had made a terrible mistake. "I assumed. Please, I won't ever come back. I promise. Just let me go." The more time spent underneath Jessica, the more unbearable the woman's weight grew, and her sweaty, musky smell was growing sickeningly intense. "Sure," Jessica said sarcastically, her weight shifting as she reached for the fork that lay on the tile floor several feet to the right. Her left buttocks and thigh peeled off Laura's back, making a sticky wet sound from their shared sweat. Fear of being blinded by the prongs made her twist her body left, using her knee, trying to destabilize Jessica to throw her off, but the woman sat back squarely on Jessica. Jessica hadn't been able to reach the fork, though. "You'll never see me again." "I know I won't, because if I do, I'm going to kill you." Laura had to have been the creator of this. Why couldn't she control Jessica? All of the other dreamers were out already. The substance of this world was all her making now, unless Malik placed someone else in this dream. But that was unlikely this early on in the project. She closed her eyes and concentrated again, attempting to alter her situation. A hard slap against her face opened her eyes. The burning sensation lingered on her cheek. Jessica's smiling teeth were close. "You'll shut them when I say. I know you don't want to hear, slut, but you need to." You didn't want to believe you wreck marriages? No one's taken my Frank, especially not your skinky ass." She sat up straight and bounced a few times, contracting Laura's rib cage, compressing her lungs, making it nearly impossible to breathe. "You don't like that?" she cackled as she kept bouncing. "Stop it," she pleaded, her voice expelling in rhythm with Jessica's movement. But Jessica raised her body higher and landed harder, bringing Laura's ribs to the verge of snapping. Frank dropped the phone, What the hell are you doing? Shut up. I don't want to hear your lies. He walked to them. You're drunk again. She grabbed a fistful of Laura's brown hair and yanked up, causing Laura's neck to crack and pinpricks of pain to dot her scalp. The police are coming, he warned. Just be nice or they'll arrest you too. After a long pause, Jessica released her grip. Laura's head fell into the floor. She moved her neck around, making sure it still worked. Why did you do it, Frank? He didn't say anything. We had something special. Several tears dripped from Jessica onto Laura's neck. He looked out the window. Where are they? Look at me, damn it. He was silent. Laura's arms were dead. Her ribs felt as though they were caving into her lungs and heart. Not getting enough oxygen, she increased her labored breaths. I love you, Frank, he replied without emotion. Can't we talk about this later? Now. He pulled a chair out from the breakfast table and sat beside them. He stared blankly into space. I love you too, Jess, but it just isn't working anymore. Laura was becoming dizzy and faint. Darkness threatened the edges of her vision. Jessica asked, What do you mean? Everything's changed after we got married. Of course, that's what's supposed to happen. You changed. Yeah, I love you more than ever. Is that what you're afraid of? With a full-blown panic attack making Laura's skin tingle, giving her tunnel vision, Laura began twisting and kicking her legs, trying to dislodge the woman. Laura now wished for the police to come and save her. Jessica bounced a few more times, causing a snapping inside Laura's chest, freezing her in terror. Looking back to her husband, she said, You've always been afraid of committing. Get over it. I'm right here, all for you. I wasn't ready, Jess. You pushed. I forced you to marry me? No, but you made it clear. Sirens sounded in the distance. Laura had not taken another breath. She wondered how long she could hold it. Hopefully long enough until the police got there. That I had to make a decision, Frank continued. They're coming. Let's talk about this later. Born of desperation, an idea arose in Laura. She curled her neck up and to the left, biting into Jessica's thigh as hard and deep as possible. The woman screamed and pushed off Laura, knocking Frank over in the chair, falling onto him and hitting her head against the cabinet. He scrambled out from under her, but not before Laura leaped up and ran toward the front door. It felt good to run, despite pains in her chest. She heard them shouting behind her, but didn't look back. If they caught her again, they would be more wary. After breathlessly struggling with the lock, she opened the front door and ran into the cool night.